Good morning guys, James here down at the Southampton Boat Show, continuing the tour of looking around the various boats here on the stand, and this morning for you we've got a beautiful 65 Sport Yacht. This is a brand new boat, fresh out of the factory, 2024 model year. She's boat 452, and as we stand here, start of the show, she is available. We've just got the garage open this morning so you can see into the back. These will actually take up to a 345 Williams. In the back there's room alongside to take some folding bikes or paddle boards and what have you. It's a great space, easy to get the boat in and out of the water here, as well as that hydraulic high-low bathing platform suitable for a 3-seater jet ski on the back. And let's just come around so you can see the look of the boat here with that beautiful rail white hull. We've got the black boot top stripe running just around the waterline and the signature glass windows, as you can see from the midships cabin running all the way down the side. Hard to get a feel of exactly how these just look from the pontoon here. There are several tours on my channel, but this morning just taking the opportunity to see what the fixtures and fittings of this particular one are like for those of you considering this model on your shortlist. Beautiful, beautiful boat, powered by the IPS 1350 Volvo IPS pod drives, gets on for a speed around 36 knots. Beautiful to drive with the joystick arrangement and a very, very cool helm upstairs. Synthetic decking on this one allows us to do some very swoopy designs, as you can see on the steps here from the stern. Let's head on board and take a look around. Now we do have the U-shaped seating up in the cockpit, which means access on this port side is just working deck, doesn't take us into the cockpit, but we'll head on up and take a look on the foredeck to begin with. You can see as I just scan the camera around as we come in here how this might work. So the standard configuration here is just with the bench seat in the middle and no cushion here over on the port side, but this does work a little better for social seating. Each of these are built bespoke to give a certain owner's usage will be a little different. So as we come down the deck here, you can see how wide these are. It's almost wider than you see on something like a 76 yacht, and just scan the camera around, you can see how big these glass windows here are on this port deck as we walk forward. There is some lovely LED lighting, hard to show. There is a video on the channel, in fact, show what the boat looks like in the dark. As we've come up onto the bow arrangement here, you can see now two-tone upholstery, so we've got some nice detailing, being obviously of the Predator-esque feel, very racy looking. I can do a fixed movable top table in here if you so wish. These lift up the backrest cushions here to give you somewhere to sit and read a book, and then all the working deck space here with the anchor arrangement and fender storage here down beneath the deck. Just scan up top, you can see the LSA jet painted black roof system there with a sunroof configuration in the middle. And as we come back down the starboard deck here, we can head up to the Flybridge. Now this particular one has got the optional Flybridge bimini arrangement, does make the boat a little bit more practical for usage in warmer climate. And you can see the stair arrangement here that takes us up to the bridge above. Synthetic theme throughout, so we've kept the decking here up on the Flybridge. And you see the Helm and co-pilot seats here with that lovely centre console supercar look to all of the nav kit and what have you. So let's just jump into the seat here. You can see how this works. Very Formula One-esque driving position. You're absolutely in my eye line here as we look forward. So we have two multifunction displays under the covers here. A chart plotter system, obviously being IPS engine for you running Garmin's Glassbridge nav system. This is a jog dial for the two rotating screens on the top there. We've got the jog dial for the nav screen, charging sockets, and a plug for the VHF there. And then on the console itself, the bow thruster and the IPS joystick. This whole arrangement lifts up. There is a docking video on my channel to show what these are like in close quarters, but it does allow you to really get into a comfy position whether you're coming into port or driving the boat at speed. IPS boats obviously running very flat as the props pulling the boat through the water. It is a very, very cool piece of kit to drive. Now standard configuration in the aft end of the Flybridge cockpit here would be with a centre seat, but this one particularly configured with the L-shaped seating and the tabletop makes it a little bit more versatile in terms of how the social space works. I think for me this works a little better, but it is very much personal choice. Painted nav kit up top there with the black finish, and the bimini above us, as we mentioned earlier, just scan around to see how that works. It does make it so a little bit more practical in the warmer climates. So let's head on down and check out the interior. Okay, so let's have a look around just before we go inside, show you how this cockpit arrangement works with the opening top table and that theme we saw up on the foredeck with the two-tone exterior. You can see beautiful diamante fabrics used. Over here on the starboard side we have the crew arrangement, top lifting up and down the hatch here. To show you with the camera safe climbing down, we've done these in a little bit of detail before. We have a loo, sink, laundry facilities and a crew berth as needed. Doors stacking back here over on the starboard side, and the electric window that comes up and down to transform this area into either one singular zone, or we can close off that interior and take full advantage of the aircon or heating system depending on where you're doing your boating. Now we come inside and we see a couple of changes that came along on the Predator 65 that followed the original design of the Sport Yacht, and you can see now a full height fridge freezer, slightly smaller sideboard arrangement there with the wine cooler, gives a little bit more space in the galley arrangement over here on the port side. We have a wider top on this particular one, giving a deeper storage unit, and over on the outboard side there, the 4-burner ceramic top, oven, slimline dishwasher and then storage cupboards above and below. Standard synthetic tops here on the galley with some veining, as you can see. And as we then go forward, you have that main saloon seating. So we've got a sofa here on the starboard side. You can see a slight recess into that base just to give a little bit more walk-through space, and then the standard configuration here on the port side, electric height adjustable table with the expanding top. It's a very neutral colours, and you can see even here on a rather cloudy day in Southampton, lots of natural light coming in through the side windows, and of course the sunroof up above us, as we don't have the space for the full glass top given that we are on the Sportsbridge version of this hull. So across here on starboard, this is the main internal helm, and we have pretty much a mirror image of all the kit we saw upstairs earlier. So the multifunction displays we were talking about, we've upgraded to 2 Garmin multifunction MFDs there, the CM8 monitoring panel. The buttons around the steering wheel here actually are for controlling the screens to save getting out your seat. Bow thruster control over here, obviously no option for a stern thruster of how the sliding platform mechanism works on these. Jog dial for those little rotating displays, you can see that flicking through there, and of course the IPS joystick. Electric opening window here next to us does mean you can drive the boat from the internal helm when coming in and out of the dock, and a handy little wireless charging point there. Very, very futuristic in how these look here from the helm, and it's very practical. One of the largest single piece glass windscreens in the marine industry, and it does give this great vista from this internal helm. Silver oak wood finish on this one. Of course, we've run the theme through the floor as well as up on the bulkheads. Makes the boat feel very bright and airy inside, and super practical if you are walking in and out with your shoes on. But the soft carpet finish maintained as we come down the stairs here into the accommodation below. This particular one configured with 3 cabins. There is an option for a 4th single bed on these, but this is the most common option with the Grandmaster stateroom in the midships. We've come forward and started off in cabin number 2, the VIP guest cabin, with that centerline bed, and again very, very bright and airy materials. Full AV package with large flat screen TVs in all the cabins. Nice little vanity station here, beautifully appointed, and of course being a Predator-esque boat, we've got all of the styling details up in the ceiling and on the bulkheads. The more you get on these, there are more and more styling details that you pick up. So this is an ensuite bathroom for this forward cabin. We come back then to cabin number 3, or the twin bed guest cabin arrangement here over on the starboard side. So we've got a wardrobe in here and tucked up behind the wall here. we have a further bathroom. Now, strange as it might sound, we actually have a fourth bathroom on this. So this is a day head here at the bottom of the stairs. It does allow you to bring guests on board without having to utilise one of the guest cabins. It's a handy feature that has proved very popular on this boat. And we're now down into the Grand Master setup. So there is an option in here to have a bulkhead and a single bed. We can do a storage utility area as a walk-through into the master, or as this one is configured with the Grand Master arrangement. It means we get this beautiful vanity station and some cupboard storage. Over here on this side we have a standard width cupboard that you can put refrigeration, laundry or storage in as required. And then we come back facing aft towards the engine room. Now we have that big centerline 1.8 metre wide bed and the breakfast stool arrangement on that port side, and across opposite the linear sideboard, and then the heads compartment here forward. Electric heated towel rail. We've got the standard rain shower up in the ceiling there. Very, very nicely finished indeed. Morning.
Good morning.
So to finish off, let's go and have a look in the engine room, which is accessed over here on the port side deck. So we just have to shut the gate like so, give us a little bit more access. Pop the hatch up and down the ladder we go. It's a little bit more tricky with the camera. You have to excuse, there are some bits and pieces down here. So we've got a Seakeeper gyro system down there forward with the generator sitting up above, upgrade to 17.5 kilowatts with that system running. It is quite tight down here, obviously the garage intruding in above the engines, but with modern day diesel engines such as these, to be honest, there isn't much to do. We have a crawl through in the middle here. Down the centre there you've got access for water strainers for the engine intakes, and you've got things like the main pre-filters for the engines here at the bottom of the ladder, easy to get to. We do have the oil change system here as an upgrade, which makes life a little easier for the servicing, and you can see the pod set up on the back there. Very much digitally monitored by the panels upstairs these days. There's not much of a requirement to get in and do the oily bits so much. But from a servicing and serious mechanical point of view, this whole garage floor can be removed if ever required. Handy breaker panels here for the main electrical systems on the boat. Does mean that you haven't got to go clambering around the engines if you ever need to come and reset anything here from the engine room. So there you have it. Hope you've enjoyed having a look around with us. Say start of the show here, the boat is currently still available. And if you'd like to know more, as always, contact details are james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or the mobiles +44 7747 686 587. Hope you've enjoyed looking around with us. Be a chance to see some more boats here on the show, and we hope to see you here before the end of the week.